Welcome back to my channel, everybody. This is King Havo. It's been a minute or two or three. I can't keep track. But what I'm working on is this game right here. I've been working on this game for a long time. It's been too long. And the game's called Legend Bowl, which is redundant as hell for me to say because I've been working on this game for so damn long. I've been working on it for too long. And yeah, it's been quite some time. But I thought it would be a good opportunity to do an update, give you guys a quick rundown on something that I just added in. For those who follow me, you probably know what it is. For those who don't, then, you know, stay tuned. This video is going to talk about it. And it's basically what every football game or sports game, not everyone, but a lot of them have. I don't think all the indie ones do. But I know the AAA ones typically do, and I want to talk to you about it. So up to now, whenever I've played the game and done testing on the game and worked on the game, I've always, tried to record it when I could, and then I'll have to go back to the recording and kind of just play it frame by frame and kind of see, bugs or things that happen in the game. So when I see something weird happen, like let's say a guy fumbles and then the ball just like warps across the screen or something crazy happens, which that happens a lot. I have to go ahead and watch the replay. I have to watch the recording, right? I have to record the actual gameplay live. Then I have to go back and play the recording and have to sit there and kind of watch it. And that's like the best I can get up to now. But then this past weekend, well, let me step back before I go there. So I've been thinking about and tossing around in my head for years, really, since I started this, right? It's been over 2.5 years, right? And I've been thinking about how instant replays are going to work in the game, right? Like, how can I do that in this game? How's it going to work? And my game has layers of sprites, right? So like every player has, whenever they get drawn on the screen, they draw their legs, they draw their arms, they draw their gloves if they have them, they draw their eyes, their eyebrows, their hair, their facial hair. Like everything is cut up and sliced up into different parts and pieces. So whenever you draw one sprite, one player, right, you're probably drawing between 10 and 20 different sprites, right? So, and then on top of it, you have actions, right? So like every player can be in a different state, not actions, basically states, right? So you can be in a walking state, or you could be in a running state. You could be in all these different states. And it's like, shit, how the hell can I put this all together and put it into a replay system? Oh man, so I've been tossing around this idea forever. And then this past weekend, I just was working on the tutorial, right? The beta. I'm trying to get the beta together, right? So for those of you guys who don't know about it, I'm going to put a link right here, somewhere in the top here, and go watch the beta announcement that I did. But I'm planning on doing a beta, but I wanted to have some kind of a tutorial for people who just get introduced to the game for the first time. I want you to be able to load the game up and get at least a very basic overview of how to use the game, right? How to run the game, how to play the game, how to pass, how to tackle. It's pretty much what you see in every other football game, at least the ones I've played. But there's some nuances to it. How do you kick? How do you throw? So I wanted to work on a tutorial, right? But while I was working on that tutorial, I said to myself, wait a second. What about instant replay, man? I'd love to have instant replay. I want people to do instant replay. I want to show the game off. And so I saw a video by a guy that I follow on Game Maker. His name's Sean Spalding, and he had a video that I've seen before on how to do like a ghost recording, right? Like how do you have a player like run across the screen and then you can see his shadow like a ghost, right? And I've seen the video before, and I was watching it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to try something. I'm going to try my own version of what he did. And so I just started cracking at it, man. And before I knew it, after a couple of days, I was like, whoa, I've made some pretty good progress here. Like I had a basic prototype that was built. And I said, wait a second, this is going to work. So I'm going to basically save every single player's sprite or sprites, right? Their list of sprites for every player on every frame. And I'm going to save it to a file, or I'm going to save it in memory, and then I'm going to play it back. How hard could that be? So I did it. I had the prototype. I had it basically somewhat working. And that was like on Monday, I think. And I did a tweet out, and I put a tweet there for you guys, for people to see what I'm doing. And it's like, okay, cool. He's working on an instant replay. And I'm like, yeah, I am. So I wanted to do this video to show it to you guys. I've been working on it since Monday. Today is Thursday night. But there's so many things. Like when you first create the prototype, there's so many different things, and you guys aren't going to want to hear this, or you're going to be bored of it. But whenever you make anything in any game, especially a game like this, you have to test every single aspect. And I'm sure I still have bugs, because when you do the replay, it's like, okay, well, does it work on every single part of the game? Like when you hit start, like right now, if I hit start, will there be a replay? There won't be, because I just went into a practice game here. There hasn't been a play yet, so there won't be a replay. So I have to make sure that I code it to where you can't even pick it, right? This right here has to be coded, right? Every little thing has to be coded. And so what's going to happen here is, what I wanted to do before I start, what I wanted to do was make it to where you can see an instant replay at any moment, right? So I'm going to walk you through a full play here, but then I'm going to also walk you through like how it's going to work and when you can watch the replay and all that good stuff, and just give you a rundown of how it's going to be in the game. It's going to be in the beta. So whoever's in the beta, you're going to see the instant replay. You're going to be able to check out the game. And I'm not afraid of what it looks like. It's not going to be perfect when you go into instant replay. And there are a little bit of weird things, like when you throw the ball, the instant replay has the ball kind of shoot out like one frame early, but when I watch it back on a recording, it doesn't show that. So I don't know why it's doing that, but that's a very small price, but I'm a perfectionist. That's why everything I do takes so long. Outside of just coding already, things just take a long time to do. And it's like, well, it's because I want it to be done right. I want to do it well. So I'm going to run through a play real quick. This is just a passing play here. I'm going to go ahead and just run it now. My defense is, I think they're just kind of just hanging out because I'm practicing and I have them just relaxing right now. And I also think I have the interceptions turned all the way up, so they're going to intercept every single time right now. But if I click on A and I go to back to the play or whatever, if I hit start now, I can actually go, and now you can see the replay is available to you, right? So if I click A, now I'm in the replay, right? And it's going to work as other games would work that you've played in the past, right? Other football games, other sports games. And what you can do is you can zoom out, you can zoom all the way back in. This is as far as you can zoom out. This is as far as you can zoom in. You can also, what you can also do is just, if you just hit play, it'll just play everything back, and you can zoom in and out. It's going to play out my entire play all the way through, and it's going to follow the ball, right? You can rewind if you want with the triggers, right? The L and R triggers. And then it's going to follow the ball and the player with the ball automatically, right? Now, if you move it off of the player and you want to go to, like, let's just say this dude, it's going to follow him all the way through the entire play, right? And that's what it's going to do. So it's going to follow the guy that you put it towards. If you put it back on the ball, though, like that, it's going to, well, let's see here. If you put it back on the ball, I thought I had it where it will actually pick up the ball carrier. I think it should be doing that. I don't know why it's not doing it, but let me just double check here. Hold on. So I have it on the QB. It should stay with him, and it's going to stay with him. But if I put it back on the ball, I swear I had it where it's supposed to continue with the ball. So I'm going to need to check that, but that's what's going to happen. So you can just pretend like it's happening. It's going to basically do this. It's going to follow the entire ball the whole way. I'm pretty sure that's the way I want it to work, and that's the way I had it working. So I'm not sure why it's not right now, but that's okay. I'm still kind of wrapping things up. But you can basically go across the whole screen, and as you zoom out it goes faster and faster. And as you come in, it goes slower. The cursor, you can go all the way across the entire field with it, all throughout the inbounds of the field, all the way down to the bottom touchdown. And yeah, so this is the way it's going to work. And then you can, like I said, I actually record the refs too. So the refs are getting recorded, right? So I don't know if I can go on them. I can't, but they're also getting recorded as well. So if you want to take a look at the refs, I don't think you can actually highlight them, but you can, you can watch how the refs go. And the refs in this game, they move around like they're supposed to. These guys are back here following the ball, and that's the way they're supposed to go, right? Sorry, I know I'm moving the camera around crazy, but, I'm just having some fun with it. But anyway, so your controls are here, and if you want to hide this, you can go ahead and hide that. And, if you want to put it back on, you can put it, show the buttons, right? Like if you get lost. So it's very, very typical. I know you guys are going to be like, oh, wow, who cares? Instant replay. But this is huge because now if I go back to the game and let's say I want to pick another play and it's going to record live, right? So like as soon as I hit hike, by the way, when they get to the line, you lose it because I have to reset it, right? And this is just a side note. So you get it all the way up until you can watch it all the way up to the point where they're set up in the line for the next play. Then at that moment, it has to reset because if I clear out that data after you like hike the ball, then there's like a quick little delay. And I don't want that to happen. When you're in the middle of a game, I don't want there to be any delays. I want the game to run smooth. So I do it right before you hike, basically. And now when I push hike, if I wanted to just push pause right there, I can actually see exactly where I'm at up to that point, right? And this took some work to do because you have to make sure that, you're basically like anything else. You have to make sure you're creating the recording at the right time and you're showing the replay at the right time and you're saving everything and you're kind of like killing things off the way you need to. So it's very dynamic. It's very cool. I'm excited about it. I mean, I've been working hard on it this week and, it's going to be fun because you're going to be able to sit here and do instant replays of the game, right? And even if the computer's playing against the computer and you want to see a replay, you can do that, right? There might also be in the future the ability to save this off and watch replays that you have archived. Now, I don't have that in place, but I know how to do it. It's just a matter of adding in more work and more time into the project. And right now I'm not going to do that. I'm going to save it for maybe down the road if it becomes a highly requested feature that people want and people are supporting the game, then by all means, I know how to do it. Just going to be a matter of, putting everything together. So as of right now, you can see it's running the exact play. Now, if I go back and I want to see it all the way through, I could even stop it right there. And now you're going to get everything up to that point. So you could see everything about the replay. I mean, you can go all the way in and zoom in on this dude and take a look at this guy. You can look at this dude close up. Like I said, I still don't know why. I swear this was working before where it would actually, well, you're not going to see it here, but yeah, you could see it here. It should keep following that dude. So I don't know why it's not, but I'll fix that. That's an easy fix. And you can zoom out. Like if you want to do like lab type stuff and you want to like look at how the defense is reacting and how they're playing in their zones and everything, you can see, what they're doing. And like you see these guys here just standing there like doing this weird thing. They're all like focusing on a point for some reason and then they're all trying to go to the same spot. There's things like that are happening in the game that, it's not broken, but it doesn't look the best. So, I'll try to work on those things when I have time, but you can actually look and you can break down plays, to your liking. Another thing I did too, you can see there with the ball, and I'll show you in the replay, this past weekend, like I think all day Saturday and like half the day on Sunday, I worked on the way the ball bounces again because I want the ball to bounce realistically. And you see that little thing at the end there where it kind of, I'll move this away, where the ball kind of just rolls like that at the end. Because before what it would do is it would just stop. It would just basically like hit the ground. And then after a couple bounces, it would just freeze. Right. So I wanted it to be a little bit more realistic. So now even the ball, like when it falls, like it has a little roll to it at the end. And those are the kind of details that I'm doing in the game. I mean, that's why maybe it's taking longer than it might. Maybe people don't, maybe people won't appreciate that. I don't know. I mean, I see other games out there. I look at their ball physics, and even though they're 3D games, they don't look good. They don't look good at all. I mean, the ball doesn't even spin in the air, right? For some of these games. So like, see, you can still do the replay up to here. You can do it even up to there. You can still see the entire replay, you know. But as soon as you get to the point where they fully line up and take their stances, like right now, see, it's gone. So just FYI for those who might watch. Let me see if I can hit that guy. Nope, he got me. To see the way the ball kind of rolls at the end there, I love that. I mean, I love that. That's just one of the things I added in. I know it's minor, but the way I see it is every little bit of polish that I can do in the game, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to try to make the game, if I think it's important, I'm going to do it. I'm going to add it in. And so the ball was one of those things that wasn't bouncing right. I actually had a weird bug where the ball would just bounce on the floor and just like skyrocket in the air. And that's what led me to fixing that, but then also adding in that little bit of roll at the end because, you know, I want it to look more realistic. But this is about the replay system. And so Legend Bowl has replays. And this is so exciting. It's exciting for me to do. I'm so happy with the way it's turning out, with the way it basically turned out. I'm pretty much almost there. I have to fix that one thing where it's not following the ball all the way through when you move it. Let's do another play here. But it's going to be very, very powerful. And there are a lot of games that just don't even have replays, right? Even like Backbreaker had a terrible like basic replay system in the very beginning. And even the one that it had after the Great House patch, it wasn't even a great replay system even at that point, right? So, and there are some games that I know don't even have a replay system in them, right? You know, and I'm sure Madden wishes it didn't have a replay system because watching those replays can get really ugly, right? Like any game. And see, this is going to be one that we're going to watch it. And I threw it in the air and the guy basically just tagged it. And you see, let's see what that looks like. Cause he kind of does a double jump right there. See, and these are some of the things this is another thing I'm going to talk about real quick. So sorry if I'm going too deep, but that's just what's happening here. Right. So I haven't done a video in a while, so I got things to say. But if you can see, when I throw the ball, first thing you're going to see, you see how you see two balls there? That's actually not happening in the game. Like if I record the game and I play it back frame by frame, I don't see that. So I don't know why it's doing that, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. But that's the kind of detail that I get into, guys. I get very, very critical. But if you can see here, there's a little bit of a bug, right? Like he catches the ball, which looks fine to me. Fine, he caught it. It went into his hands okay for as far as I'm concerned. But what happens is he comes down and he does like a double jump for some reason, right? You see that? Like he like jumps and then he jumps down and he jumps up again. So I have to fix that. And I've seen that before. I thought I fixed it. But those are the things that I'm working on, especially now that I have the instant replay system in place. I am so much better equipped at finding issues and seeing these weird scenarios like this one right here, for instance, where why is he doing that, right? Now, it's still going to take me time to fix it. It's still not going to be a quick, it's not always going to be a quick thing. Actually, it's almost never a quick thing. But I can tell you, when you're making a football game, there are so many instances that happen. And if I want to just scroll around here, I can probably find something else that I don't like, right? Like, let's go back. I know it was a pretty quick play, so you probably are not going to see much. But like, this doesn't look too bad right here. I mean, I have it to where this guy gets blown. Like he gets blown out by the guy who intercepted it, right? Like, so like when you go real quick, so when you go into like a wrestling move, like when they're like trying to like jostle for position, they're trying to basically like, the blocker and the linemen are trying to fight for a, fight to get around or whatever. Sometimes when for randomness and to make it a little bit, so it's not so predictable, sometimes when you go into a wrestling state like that, sometimes you lose pretty quick. It's not always you both don't always start off in the same power level, right? So because of that, my guy got beat fast, right? He just got beat up real fast. And he dives pretty far, But could I make the dive a little bit shorter? Yeah, I could. But there's one thing there. There's also a problem, I know, where sometimes the guys are stuck in a wrestling move like too long. Like, look at this guy here, right? This guy in the back here, he's still in a wrestling move even though he knocked that guy or that guy ran away. Like, so when the play is dead, sometimes they get stuck in a wrestling move. Now, you guys tell me in the comments, is that me being too picky, right? Are those things too picky of me to consider, right? Or do you think it looks pretty good? I actually think it looks pretty good, right? There's been a lot worse things that have happened. There's actually times where the guys who are wrestling, if they lose, they'll just like warp all the way over here. Like their movement just like jumps them over here. And I think I have a fix in place, so I'm trying to test it now. But these are the kind of things that I'm working on as far as the gameplay goes, these little nuances that happen. And, I'm going to have to cut it at some point and say, okay, this is good enough, right? But this video was just to give you guys an update on where I'm at, show you the instant replay mechanics, let you see how it works in real time so it's a real thing that's coming. And also, some of the other things that I've worked on, like the ball, and then the way that the instant replay is going to help me to make the game better. So before I end the video, I have the beta planned. I have a mindset of where I'm going to go with it. Last thing I'm going to show you real quick is I'm trying to add in, if I can get to it before I release the beta, I want to be able to have the ability to change your depth chart and also take a look at your stats, player stats and team stats for the game. Okay. And the beta is going to be 3 minutes long, right? Like you're going to be able to play 3-minute quarters and you're going to be able to pick from 2 teams. Okay. But everything else is pretty much going to be wide open minus the career mode, which is still in progress. Okay. So, what I'm going to work on before the beta, and I'm trying to get it out like within the next couple of weeks max. I keep saying that it keeps getting pushed back, but I'm thinking maybe a week or two, hopefully. I'm trying to get these little things fixed on the field, right? And then I'm also trying to get like these depth charts and stuff working, right? So if you want to change your guy and make him a starter, I can take one of these guys and I can set him up as a starter for the game. Like right now, you're going to see every team. You see that? This is showing the depth chart like if I was in the main menu, right? And if I hit back here, it takes you back to the main menu. But I'm trying to reuse what I have, right? So that was no different than going into here and looking at rosters. But basically, when you're in the game, I'm going to show you this depth chart here, okay? And I'm going to make it to where you can change whatever team you control, right? And then I'm also going to make it to where you can look at the stats, right? So like if I were to go to career mode and just load a career, I'm going to be also showing you like team stats like this, but it's going to be for the game, right? You're going to see all the stats for the game for each team on the field. Okay. And that's going to be your team stats. So I already have it. I already have the screens in place. I just need to make sure that I need to basically create new versions of them that work inside of a match, right? And then I can go to your player stats and you can see all the player stats for each team. You're going to be able to see the stats. And then league leaders is something that I don't have planned to put in the match, but I could also add that in at some point, right? So that's basically where I'm at with everything. That's where I'm going with everything. And yeah. So get ready for the beta. Get ready for Legend Bowl. I hope you guys are excited about it. I know I'm super excited about the game. I've been working on it for a long time. which is not really a long time for game development, especially when you're basically one person. But I'm excited about the direction it's going in. I think the gameplay is coming around. Adding the replay was really cool to, you know, to wrap up and get done. And yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. So thanks for watching. I know it was a long video. It was a 25-minute video. So if you're still around, I really appreciate all the support, all the feedback, all the comments. If you don't know about the game and you want us go check out more, I have more videos on it on my channel. You can go to the Discord. You can check me out on Twitter at kinghavo_sh. And you can also hit me up on here on the comments below. So if you haven't already, wish list the game. Every wish list that we get will just add more and more visibility to the game. And I'm not gonna get a publisher as far as I'm concerned right now. I don't think I'm gonna get one, but I'm shooting for Steam. I'm shooting for the PC right now, and hopefully consoles afterward. So jump on board if you haven't already. If you like what you see here and you're excited about it, tell your friends, retweet it, send out posts, do videos on it. The beta is going to be out soon, and you guys can play around with it. There's going to be bugs. There's going to be things that come up. So keep that in mind. But it's going to be an opportunity for me to get the game into your guys' hands so you can at least get a taste of what the game has to offer. So until next time, thanks for watching, guys, and have a nice one. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.